Signal's lagging. Thank you, Erica. What's up, everybody? We good? Thank you, Hat Chick. We good? Okay, we should be okay now. All right. This place that we're looking at is very, very historically significant. It was built between 1873 to 1879 when the Cixi Empress was still alive. Cost 227 million taels of silver just to build this place. It was robbed in 1928 by this man right here. I'm not going to say his name. You can read it right here. He robbed the tomb in 1928. So almost 100 years ago, about 96 years ago. Without further ado, let's go inside. So where we're going today is in virtually all of it is a tomb. We're going into a tomb today. Now, I'm going to show you guys as much as I can in the above ground structure, okay? Because the tomb is underground and there's not going to be a very good cell phone signal. There's not going to be a signal at all when we go into the tomb. Thank you, JP. Thank you, JP. Signal's lagging. Thank you for sure. Thank you. What's up, everybody? What up, Karina B? What's up, everybody? Is the signal still lagging? Are we a little bit better? Thank you, Matilda. What's up, Matilda? Thank you, Matilda. Please follow the channel and share this live stream. All right, we're about to enter now. Better? A little bit better? Okay, thank you, Wendy. Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you. Follow the channel and share this live stream, y'all. Thank you, Alex. Alex with the first one. Thank you, Alex. You know what? Let me actually come this way over here. Oh, I got some sad news this morning. So I'm a little bit down. Thank you, Cody. Before I went live, I got some sad news this morning. So I'm a little bit sad, everybody. But everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Great to see everybody. Thank you, Bradley, Ernie, Liz. Great to see everyone. Just a little bit down. Thank you, Dev. Thank you, Anya. Great to see everybody. All right. Thank you, Anya. Thank you, Defined. Great to see everybody, man. Thank you, Yvonne. Great to see everybody. Great to see everyone. Thank you, Jolie's. Thank you, Anya. Great to see everybody. Yes, everything will be okay. Great to see everyone. Thank you, Oz of Love. What up, Comb? What up, Dream Inc.? Great to see everybody. Thank you, Patty and Rebecca. What up, Karina B? Angela, Karine. Thank you, guys. I'm going to lift my own spirits up, even though it's been a tough morning. All right, everybody. Let me explain for the folks who just came in where we are today. We're at the Jolie's, Laura. Thank you, Kirill. Thank you, guys. No, I feel fine. I feel great, actually. Dev, Emily, thank you, guys. I feel great. It's just got some sad news this morning. Very unfortunate, but the show's got to go on. Anyway, Storm, Emily, thank you. We are at a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Thank you, Carrillo and Barrera. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site called the Eastern Qing Tombs. Okay? There are a number of emperors and their wives and their empresses and their consorts, their concubines, buried in these mountains. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's called the Qing Tombs, Eastern Qing Tombs. Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Rob. Now, as we get closer to here, you guys have to realize one thing. The Qing dynasty had a lot of emperors. The Ming dynasty had a lot of emperors. Every single dynasty had a lot of different emperors, right? As we come in here, this is absolutely huge. This is the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. Look at this thing right here. Now, where the emperors are buried is extremely important. Let me put my book bag down as I explain this, okay? Because this is very important. Also, my book bag is very heavy. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Now, the emperors of the Qing dynasty are buried in two separate locations. The Western Qing dynasty and the Western Qing tombs and the Eastern Qing tombs. Driving, they are at least 2 hours away, just in a car, on a modern highway, at least 2 hours away. We are at the Eastern Qing tombs today. This is where the two most important emperors in the Qing dynasty are buried. The Kangxi Emperor and the Qianlong Emperor are both buried here in the Eastern Qing tombs. Does that make sense? Thank you, Combe. Now, this is really important for you to understand. Where we are right now, the beginning of our live stream today, is actually not where the Qianlong Emperor is buried. We are here at the tomb of perhaps the most famous woman in modern Chinese history. Thank you, Ms. T. We are at the tomb of the Cixi Dowager. Her name is called Cixi, C-I-X-I. Y'all could Google this. Y'all could find out a little bit more about her. This entire compound is devoted to her burial for the Cixi Emperor, for the Cixi Empress. She was effectively the ruler of China for the last part of her life. Thank you, Nicho and Warrior. And this is where she's buried. It's an extravagant place with jewels, treasures. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is, what do you guys notice here? This is absolutely incredible. And I should take my hat off when I say this, because when you guys, I don't want to put my hat on this right here, so I'm going to put my hat on my bag. I don't want to get my hat dirty. This is what you've seen. Thank you, PF Wisco. Thank you, RJW. Thank you so much. What just happened? What just happened? Kenneth. God. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Island Girl. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you, Kenneth. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kenneth. I got some very sad news this morning, but gotta keep going, gotta keep streaming, gotta keep doing what I gotta do. Thank you so much, Kenneth. Thank you. Thank you, body, man. Thank you. Now, please stay a couple minutes. I know 3 minutes just to give you. Here is at the end of the city. Here is at the end of the city of them. This entire thing is made out of marble. This is not stone. This is not a rock. This entire thing is made out of white marble. If we get a little bit closer, this is all carved out of white marble. This entire plaque is carved out of white marble. This thing is carved out of white marble. This entire thing is carved out of white marble. It is absolutely incredible, because if you guys have watched my show in the past, thank you, Snuff Dipper, you will see these things are usually made out of stone. Thank you, Snuff Dipper. You will see these things are usually made out of stone, right? You have seen what I mean out of a stone that's supposed to. Thank you, Snuff Dipper. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you so much, Kenneth. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Kenneth, man. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, sir. Man, you, Pugs, LBJ, everybody, like so many people, Alex, Lori, you guys make it possible for this channel to run, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. MVP. Thank you. You make it possible for me to keep doing this here in China. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Kenneth. All right, Chris, thank you. All right, but before I lose my train of thought, usually these things here are made out of stone. And that's also incredibly expensive, because you have to carve it, you have to carve into it, you have to cut it into shape. This entire thing's made out of white marble. That's why it cost 225 million taels of silver to make just her tomb. And this, unfortunately, is one of the reasons why the Qing dynasty declined. They were so extravagant with their spending. They were so extravagant with how much money they spent on things like their burial, their tomb, on their luxurious lifestyles. The common people in the Qing dynasty unfortunately didn't have much to get by, and their military was neglected. This contributed to the fact that they lost to the Japanese in the First Sino-Japanese War and to the British in 2 Opium Wars. It's because of vanity projects like this. This entire dragon is carved out of white marble. I'm gonna come over here and show it to you from the front. Look at the quality of this. I know it's got some dark marks on it, but this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the body of Cixi, the Empress Dowager, is still ahead of us in the tomb underneath. So this is an absolutely incredible place with so much history, with so many human stories here. Now, for me to stream this place is not as exciting as like a night market. It's not exciting as a market with a lot of people walking around here. Now, for me to stream this place is not as exciting as like a night market. It's not exciting as a market with a lot of people walking around. This is a very entertaining place. So for me to be able to walk around here and show you guys this UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a big blessing. Thank you everybody for all the love and support. Now the difference between this thing right here, I would have imagined to give for everybody who's thank you Jolo. Is it still lagging? Still lagging? Still lagging? Still lagging? Is it still lagging? Still lagging? Still lagging? Still lagging? Here's no good. Here's no good. We good? It's a little bit better. We good? Yeah, a little bit better. We back. Okay. I might have to switch my SIM card. I might have to switch my SIM card if the signal is no good. Okay? Is it a little bit better? Okay. Okay. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We're back. And we're back. I'm back. Thank you, BB. So thank you, Linda. What's up, everybody? everyone, we're back. Thank you, Rodolito. All right, let's start this thing all over again. Thank you, Victoria. I apologize about the lag a little bit earlier. I have switched to a different SIM card. I apologize about the lag. We good? We good with the signal, everybody? Is the signal okay? Everybody's good? Yeah, it's cool? Yep, Linda J, thank you. Everybody okay? Everything's good? All right, good evening, everybody. I apologize about the signal issues that we had earlier. Okay, thank you, AKJ. Apologize about the signal issues we had earlier. I just switched to a different SIM card. Okay, thank you, Tar Heel Babe. Now, we're streaming here from the Eastern Qing. We're still freezing. We good? Thank you, one of one. Thank you. No, we good? All right, Black Widow, one of one. We good? Okay. All right. All right, great to see everybody. Just unfortunately, this lag kind of messed with my train of thought a little bit. Okay, we're gonna walk around today in the tomb of the Cixi Emperor. We're gonna learn a little bit of history today. Thank you, Black Widow. Thank you, Black Widow. We're gonna learn a little bit of history today. We're gonna keep this thing moving. There's a lot of people here, way more people than I thought. Man, what is up? What is up with this signal? Thank you, AKJ. You know what, man? Let me just keep moving. Let me see if it's a little bit better if I keep moving. Thank you, Daniel, JFS. Thank you, guys. Let me just keep moving. Daniel, JFS, thank you. Lucas, thank you. It's okay? Yeah, let me just keep it moving. All right, signal a little bit better. All right, thank you, Katie. And honestly, man, today I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood for just ridiculous comments. Thank you, Missy. All right. Whew. Okay, everybody. Let me come in here into the shade for a second. All right. Back to where we are. Put down my book bag one more time. For the folks who just came in, a little bit sad today. Got some sad news this morning, but we'll be all right. First of all, great to see everybody. All right, great to see everybody on this fine Sunday morning for me, Saturday evening for you. Great to see everybody. Okay. Now, we are here at the tomb of the Cixi Empress. Okay, she was the Dowager Empress. Everybody should go and Google her story. The way to spell her name is Cixi, Cixi. Okay, she was one of the few female rulers in Chinese history. Okay, this is going to be a plaque that commemorates her. As we go into her tomb, this is from the Qing Dynasty. This is about 150 years old for this entire thing here, all made out of white marble. This is also where we started lagging a little bit earlier. So for a lot of the folks who are just coming in, we were here. Yes, Marina, great comment. Thank you, Blue Eyes. Here you have, once again, the head of a dragon, the body of a turtle, and then you have this plaque here. Look at that. This is traditional Qing Dynasty imperial burials. This is something that you'll see dating back to the Ming Dynasty, even earlier, this commemorative plaque. But it's the first time I've ever seen one in China that's made out of marble. Thank you, Apollonia. Thank you so much. This entire thing is made out of marble. Now, if I had to imagine, at the time, they probably spent at least 10 million taels of silver to build this. if not more, which means this thing likely cost tens, if not 20, 30, up to 50 million US dollars in today's value just to make this right here. Just to make this structure here, all made out of white marble. You have to understand, this white marble all has to be hand carved. There's no machine back then that could do this. See, this is all hand carved. You see this? You see how smooth this is? It's all white marble. I don't even want to touch it because we're at a tomb. Look at this. Once again, the Chinese Mandarin language on the left, the Chinese Manchu language on the right. The Qing dynasty rulers were Manchu. They spoke and wrote in this language here. They were a minority that took over China. Thank you, Nana. This is the current Chinese language. Look at this one right here. That one is the Manchu script. This is absolutely beautiful. It's also one of the few times I've seen a plaque. You see, even up there, it says Da Qing. It means Great Qing Dynasty. And then on the right, you have the Manchu script. You guys can see, by the way, how the Manchu script takes up more words in order to write the exact same thing as the Chinese language. Y'all see that? Chinese language, two columns, 2 rows, 2 columns up and down. Manchu language, 4 columns to express the exact same thing. They need twice as many words. Do you notice that? Even up here, it says Da Qing, 1 line, and then over here, it takes 2 lines to express the exact same thing. Thank you, Black Widow. All right, let's go ahead and move around and look at the way this is carved. Y'all see this right here? This is absolutely beautiful, man. This is absolutely beautiful. And you know what's interesting is, so somebody asked, has the tomb ever been opened? The tomb was robbed in 1928. So 96 years ago, this tomb was robbed and it was blown open by TNT dynamite. So it was robbed before. However, they never took this because it's way too heavy to remove. Otherwise, they would have taken it. They took all the jewels, the gold, the silver, the gemstones when they robbed the tomb. But unfortunately, this is undamaged. This is completely intact. Thank you, Kay Gordon, for becoming a 5-month subscriber. Thank you, Karina B. Great to see everybody. I'm just getting out of the sun a little bit, staying out here in the shade in this building, and this building is absolutely incredible. We are at a UNESCO World Heritage Site called the Eastern Qing Tombs. Check this out right here. Thank you, Emily Wood. Absolutely beautiful building. This right here, like I said, possibly up to $50 million in today's value just to make this thing right here. Just to make this thing. Thank you, Phil Hugh Mew. Thank you, sir. Thank you, LBJ. Thank you guys, man. Alex from earlier. Man, thank you guys for all the love and support. Too Tall. Thank you, everybody, man. Got some very sad news this morning, but life's got to go on. Thank you, Cody. Thank you. Let's keep moving. So you guys can see I'm a little bit down. Anyway, if we look at the walls here, now if you look at the walls of this, it's kind of, it makes me kind of feel like there used to be murals and paintings here on these walls, but now they all seem scraped off. So yeah, I'm actually pretty positive there used to be murals and paintings here. Thank you, Pepper. Look at that. You see that right there? A lot of murals, a lot of paintings. This has all been scraped off. So you can imagine when this was built in the 1870s. So this tomb took about 9 years to finish. And it took, thank you, Kimberly and Pepper. It took 9 years to finish this tomb. And this place is so interesting. Thank you, Jolie, that I'm going to try to explain it in a way that doesn't confuse or bore the American viewers at home and people from all around the world. Thank you, Alicia, because there's so much that happened here. It is a fascinating story. Let me try to explain as much as I can while we have a good signal, because when we go out there, we might lag a little bit. Okay? So now, first of all, the Cixi Dowager never was the official emperor. She never became emperor, so we have to make that clear. She was only an empress dowager, but she effectively held power. She was the effective ruler of China during the last few decades of the Qing dynasty. Her life started as simply a concubine. In other words, I hate to be very layman when I say this. She was essentially a baby mama in today's terms. Thank you, DS. Thank you, Miss Missy. Her man Okay, her man was the emperor. That was her man. Her man was the emperor. Thank you, Dream Inc. Thank you guys. Her man was an emperor in the middle of the Qing dynasty. She was not the official empress. She was not. That was another woman. She was only a concubine. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. She was only a concubine. Yet she became a ruler of China. She was the effective. She was only a concubine. Yet she became a ruler of China. She was the effective holder of all the power in the late Qing dynasty. And this is going to be reflected in the size of this tomb. She lived a very extravagant lifestyle. It's very, very worth it to look up her life. Very, very interesting. She's probably, in my opinion, the most famous Chinese woman in the last 200 years, if not one of the most famous Chinese women of all time. People know Mulan. People know, different Chinese names, Chinese females that have been very, very, very famous in Chinese history. Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate you, Christopher. Thank you, Brian. Now, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. We're going to walk around a little bit. So everything that you see here is going to be a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Very, very important place. All right. See, the back of this is a turtle, all also made out of marble, all hand carved. You see this right here? All hand carved. I keep getting carved up by mosquitoes, unfortunately. That's why I got to move around. Even though I sprayed, I still keep getting hit up by mosquitoes in here. Type O blood. They like me. Thank you, D-boy. Now I got my bag. Check this out. This is at least 20 to 22 feet tall, all made out of white marble. And this is solid inside. This is not a shell. This whole thing is solid white marble. You can see the colors originally would have been bright white. Now it's a little bit gray because of all the dust from the last 150 years that's built up on it. But originally, this would have been all white, crystal white. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, D-boy. This would have been all white 150 years ago. Okay? This is all made out of marble. It's because of age. Check this out. I'm not going to touch it, though. You see this? Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Lanus. No, it's not concrete. Believe me when I tell you. This is marble. Believe me. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Melanie. Man, I appreciate you guys for all the love and support, man. We got some tough news this morning, but we're going to keep moving. That's the name of this channel, man. We're going to keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. There's a lot of people here on a Sunday, man. I didn't really anticipate there would be so many people. I thought this place was going to be totally empty. There's a lot more people than I thought. Thank you, Brian. And Karina B, I see all your comments. Christopher, if you have any questions today, just hit me up on the DMs. I'm going to answer it after. All right. Now, as we walk towards the main burial chamber, I have to tell you guys, the Cixi Dowager was buried with a solid gemstone in her mouth. Thank you, Marlene. This is where the story is going to get very, very crazy, y'all. When the Cixi Dowager was buried, she had, obviously in her tomb, thank you, Greg Robertson, man, 5-month subscriber. I appreciate you. Thank you, D-boy. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Now, before we talk about what was in her mouth, if you see the middle of the spirit way, this is the Shendao. This is the spirit way that's going to lead into her tomb. For those of you guys who have seen my show before, what is missing here? What is missing here? If you guys have seen my shows before, you've seen me take you guys to tombs before, you've seen my episodes before, what is missing here? Do you see anything missing on the spirit way? Thank you, Marina, for moderating. Thank you guys so much. And all the heart me's, they only cost a penny, but they help us move up the ranks. So they help us move up the TikTok rankings. I appreciate you guys for sharing. They're missing the guardians. You're exactly right. The guardians are missing. Usually in a Chinese imperial tomb, on both sides of the tomb, on the spirit way, there should be animals and human carvings on either side of the spirit way. Thank you, Llama Drama and Storm and Brisa. Thank you guys. Here, totally missing. You don't see that at all, right? Just a spirit way with what do you have in the middle? Again, white marble in the middle. White marble in the middle like these people are walking on right now. To be honest, man, I'm not really going to walk on this white marble out of respect to the Cixi Dowager. I'm going to walk on the side and I'm going to walk on these bricks. But this is the original white marble they put in. Now, This is why this place cost 225 million taels of silver to build. Thank you, Christopher, and thank you, Neats. I don't think you guys understand fully. Even I don't even fully comprehend. 225 million taels of silver. Thank you, Neats and Christopher. Thank you, Neats. Man, thank you, Christopher. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, sir. Man, we're almost halfway to our goal. I appreciate you guys. This is all put in. Now, see this one. This one right here is a little bit damaged. Thank you, Nerd Girl. And this should show you the depth of this. This is all hand-carved, transported here to serve as the centerpiece of the spirit way, so that in her afterlife, see this? Goes directly straight. Thank you, Jennifer. All right, really, thank you, Jennifer, for the galaxy. Thank you, guys. Thank you, history lover. Thank you, guys. There's so much history here. My mind is very frazzled, so I have to sort it out in a way that doesn't bore you guys or make you want to fall asleep on your Saturday night, okay? So let me try to put it in a way that makes sense. The Cixi Dowager began her life as a concubine, one of the many women to the emperor. She was one of many, many women the emperor had. Okay, she was not special. Thank you, Nerd Girl. Thank you so much. We're almost halfway to our goal. Thank you, guys. She was one of the many, many women the emperor had. Okay? However, not only was her man the emperor, she became very fortunate in a sense that her son, she gave birth to a son who would also become emperor. Thank you, Christopher. So her fortunes changed when her main rival, the Cian Empress. Thank you, Lady Death. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Jojo. Thank you, guys. Her fortunes, thank you, Cody. And hopefully the signal is good and it's going to cheer me up because the signal wasn't too good earlier. So I'm going to give you guys as much history as possible today. Thank you, Purple. Her main rival is actually buried right next to her. Thank you, Jolie. Thank you, Jolie. Thank you, Jolie, for sending those subscriptions. Thank you, Christopher. If you got a free subscription from Jolie, please give Jolie a word of thank you. Eric, everybody, my Christopher, Marlene, Jennifer, everybody. Alex, thank you, guys. LBJ, thank you. Now, very, very important to understand one thing. Only the Cixi Empress, her tomb is open to us today. So I could walk in, I could literally stand right in front of her coffin. Her body is inside. This is where the story is going to get very, very frightening. This is where the story is going to get very frightening. Thank you, Lobely and La Bonita. Thank you, guys. Thank you, W Blower. When her tomb was robbed in 1928, Mooney and W Blower, I'm going to have to sort this history out because there's so many stories here. First of all, her tomb was robbed in 1928. Yet, you might ask yourself, how is it possible her tomb was robbed? Because the Qing dynasty placed guards at nearby villages in order to guard her tomb. So how come, even though there were guards guarding her tomb, how come her tomb was robbed? How is this possible? How is this possible that someone could just walk in here and use dynamite and blow open the entrance to her tomb when there should have been guards standing outside keeping her tomb safe? Thank you, Yang Jinglong. How is that possible? It's because the man who robbed her tomb was a wartime commander. He was the commander of an entire army. He brought his soldiers, his guns, his dynamite, his heavy weapons, and he was able to overpower the people that were nearby guarding the tomb. They used the excuse of a military exercise in order to rob her tomb. Thank you, Oklahoma. Thank you, user. So they use an excuse. They said, we're going to have a military exercise here. Therefore, there's going to be some explosions. There's going to be some dynamite going off, when in reality, they were here to rob her tomb. Does that make sense, everybody? They used the excuse of a military exercise to come here and blow open her tomb. When her tomb was robbed and they went into her sarcophagus, her coffin is absolutely huge. It is also made out of marble. When they opened her tomb, Cixi's body did not even decay. It looked as if she was buried yesterday. And that's after 50 years being, that's after 1928. So she had been buried for about 20 years. Okay. Thank you, Derek. What is that, Derek? Oh, we're about to launch into the sky, Derek. Thank you, Derek. I appreciate you, Derek, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Christopher, everybody, man. Like Alex, Lori, Jennifer, everybody. No, seriously, thank you guys, man. Like so many people showing love today. It's a tough day for me. Thank you, Oklahoma, and thank you, Emma. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Derek, out in the middle of nowhere right now. Well, actually, you at a casino right now, I think, right? Appreciate you. You must have won some money. Anyway, let me get back to my history because it's so fascinating. When they opened her tomb, her body had not decomposed at all. Thank you, DJ Mo, and thank you, Kalena. Her body had looked as if it was buried yesterday because the coffin was sealed so tight that it prevented her body from rotting. Inside her mouth was a gemstone called the Yeming Zhu, which means the gem that lights up the night. Her burial was so fancy and extravagant. Her entire coffin was filled with gold, diamonds, jewelry. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, the chocolate goddess. Thank you so much. Her tomb was filled with diamonds, jewelry, gold, silver, anything that you can think of. It was so extravagant. Thank you, the chocolate goddess. Thank you, Annis. Thank you guys for all the blessings today. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Peter Chung. Thank you, Annis. The tomb raider, the army commander, ordered his soldiers to pry open her mouth. Thank you, the chocolate. Thank you so much. To pry open her mouth and to take out the jewel. The jewel's name in Chinese is called the Yeming Zhu, which means the gem that lights up the night. That gem is in America today. The warlord that robbed this tomb that we're about to see took the jewel, gave it to the first lady of China at the time. Her name was Song Meiling. She was the wife of Chiang Kai-shek, the wartime commander of China during World War II. This wartime commander robbed this tomb, took the jewel, gave it as a gift to the then first lady of China, Song Meiling, who then gave it as a gift to the Rockefeller family of America. Let me say that again. This is history that you can't make up. This is better than Hollywood. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you, user. Song Meiling gave, thank you, the chocolate goddess. Thank you, user. Thank you so much, the chocolate. But you know, I'm trying to lift my spirits up. Y'all are really lifting my spirits up. Thank you guys so much. Thank y'all so much. Okay? Thank you guys. Thank you, Slick Rick. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you guys. Thank you for all the love and support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me back up a little bit. The signal's not very good. Thank you, Oklahoma and Katie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is the signal a little bit better? I saw that we were freezing a little bit. Is the signal better? Thank you, Oklahoma and Linda J. Is the signal better? Thank you, Annis. Thank you, Linda J. I gotta get to a spot with a good signal. Thank you, Warrior and Kalena. Is the signal a little bit better? Yeah? Signal better? Thank you, Christopher. Yeah, no lag? Okay. All right, let me continue to explain. Let me continue with the story though. They took the gemstone from her mouth, gave it to the First Lady of China as a gift. Okay, thank you, Patty. And the First Lady of China gave it to the Rockefeller family. Why? Because at the time, China needed America's assistance in order to combat the Japanese invasion. This was a way to curry a favor with one of the most influential families in America at the time, which was the Rockefeller family. So this gemstone was given as a gift to the Rockefeller family. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, so what you're about to see today, even though it just looks like some buildings here and there, it may not seem very, very interesting. It just looks like some Chinese buildings. So much history happened here in the last 100 years. It is absolutely incredible. It is one of the most incredible places, in my opinion, on this entire earth. I figured to myself, even if I wasn't able to stream here today, even if I can't stream, even if there's no signal, I'm still going to come here and film. Even though it takes me 45 minutes to get here, I'm still going to come here and film. Because you have to realize, this place is the resting place of probably the most important and most influential and most famous woman in Chinese history, the Cixi Dowager. Her body is literally right there. Right underneath that building is her body. It is still down there. Thank you, innkeeper. Even though in 1928 they robbed her tomb, her body is still down there. There's just nothing else in there. There's no gold, there's no silver, there's no gemstones, there's no diamonds. There's nothing else in there except her body and her coffin. Does that make sense, everybody? That is the only thing down there. Her coffin is also now airtight sealed. You can't see anything in her coffin anymore because it is not open to the public. This is the difference between the way the Chinese preserve their history versus the Egyptians. The Egyptians display their splendid mummies in their amazing museums. But the Chinese do it a little bit differently. The Chinese do not display the bodies of their emperors or empresses in the past. Most of them actually, are still in the original tombs where they were found. Does that make sense? So they never took the Cixi Dowager's body, possibly the most famous woman in Chinese history. They never took her body, removed it, and put it in a museum for people to see, even though it is still in perfect condition because of how well preserved the body was due to the airtight seal of the coffin. Does that make sense? So this is the difference when you look at Chinese history and you look at Egyptian history, which I deeply admire. I love Egyptian history. Chinese people are very, very, very superstitious people. They care very, very much about their burial place, just like the Egyptians did. This place that we're standing at right now is not random. There's nothing random about where we're at. Oh my God, Kenneth is here. Thank you, Kenneth. Kenneth, I'm so sorry about the bad signal earlier. I had to switch my SIM card. We're in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, so the SIM card signal wasn't very good. I apologize about the bad signal earlier, but we're back. The signal is a little bit better, still not great. I'm going to go ahead and get this made into an episode anyway, but I apologize about the signal lag earlier, man. I really, really apologize. I had to get off the live stream and put a new SIM card in, so I apologize for that. Thank you, Derek, everybody, man. Chocolate Goddess, Christopher, thank you, Kenneth, everybody, man. Pugs, LBJ, thank you guys. All right, now, what else is very important is that here you have to remember, I'm so passionate about this because I love history. What you're looking at is not a random place. These were emperors and empresses. Thank you, Victoria and Elfram. They didn't just say, well, you know what? I'm just going to be randomly buried out here in the middle of the wild. No. This place was picked because of its good feng shui, because of its good fortune, because it's at the foot of a mountain. The Chinese people believed, especially the emperors and empresses, believed in being buried near mountains or even inside mountains. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you so much, Kenneth. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you so much. Thank you, Carrie. Now, what's really important, thank you, Kenneth. What's really important is that there is another tomb right next door of her biggest female competitor. Because you got to remember, Cixi was not the main empress. She was only a concubine. Therefore, she never was able to become the main empress when the empress was still alive. But fortunately for her, her rival passed away at only age 44. While Cixi lived to be into her 70s, I believe into her late 70s, her rival is buried right next to her in an exactly identical tomb. The tomb looks exactly the same. When they were alive, thank you, innkeeper. Thank you so much, Melinda and innkeeper. When they were alive, they had a debate about how to build their tombs. Because in the historical times in China, emperors and empresses built their tombs as soon as they assumed power. They didn't wait till they passed away. They started building their tombs as soon as they took power. Initially, the Qing dynasty said, you know what? Let's just bury the two of them together. Let's just build one entire mausoleum and let's just put their burial chambers and put their coffins in one place. Let's just bury them together. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not emperors, they're empresses, their status is not as high as an emperor. Let's just bury them together. They refused. They said, no, there's no chance in hell we're going to be buried together. We can't stand each other in life, and we sure as hell aren't going to be buried together when we're dead. Does that make sense? So they didn't agree to be buried together. So the next solution that they had was they said, you know what? We're going to go ahead and bury them in two identical tombs. This one right here, and there's another one right there, but it's closed to the public. This one was robbed in 1928 by a warlord. That one was robbed in 1945 by a grave robber. The grave robber was arrested in 1951. When he was arrested, he said when he opened the other tomb, that body was also fully preserved. It is extremely frightening to think about this because that woman passed away in the mid to late 1800s. After 70, 80 years, her body had not decomposed at all. It is absolutely crazy. And they robbed all the jewels, all the gemstones, all the gold, all the silver from their tombs, but their bodies are still in there. Does that make sense, everybody? So I'm going to fly my drone a little bit later, and I'm going to get a nice aerial shot, and I'm going to be able to get it into my episode that I'm going to make. You guys, a lot of you guys have seen my episode. I'm going to fly my drone. I'm going to show it to you guys later. But the point is, this place is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is one of the most important royal mausoleums in all of China, and it is open to the public. It's not a cheap ticket to get in here. Almost $9 to get in here, which you might say, well, that doesn't seem like a lot of money. For such a small place, it is a significant price for a ticket to get in here. Very, very important place. UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Eastern Qing Tombs. Now, the irony behind all this is that even though the Empress Dowager Cixi was not an emperor, because you guys have to remember, she was a woman. Women could not become emperors in Chinese history. She still held all the power. There's only been one female emperor in Chinese history, and that's Wu Zetian in the Tang Dynasty. Never another. But even though the Empress Dowager Cixi never became emperor, she was the effective ruler of China in the late Qing Dynasty. Her tomb is more extravagant than most emperors that are buried here. A little quiz time. There's only one emperor's tomb, from what I understand, that's never been robbed in this entire Eastern Qing tombs. This is my understanding. There's only been one tomb that's never been robbed. Do you guys know the reason why? Now, that's a rhetorical question. Most people won't know the reason why. Does anybody know the reason why? There's only one emperor's tomb that's never been robbed in this entire Eastern Qing tombs. Does anybody remember? Does anybody know why? Does anybody know why? Why? Does anybody have an idea? It's hidden, it's cursed. A lot of good answers is in the mountain. That particular emperor, rumor and legend has it, didn't want to become emperor anymore, and he went and became a monk. He became a monk. So the assumption is that there's really nothing valuable in his tomb. Thank you, Sticky Rice. The assumption is that there's nothing valuable in his tomb, so there's no need to go and rob it. Does that make sense? He abdicated his throne, legend has it. Now, some people say he passed away from a sudden illness. Some people say he abandoned his throne and became a monk. But the reality is that people think that his tomb has nothing valuable in it. So therefore, his tomb was never robbed. Does that make sense? All right, thank you, Cherish. Let's keep walking around a little bit and see as much as we can. But for the folks who are just coming in, thank you, Peter Chung. Thank you, Cherish. Please share this live stream like Spandexy is doing. Now, you guys have to remember, the Cixi Dowager, I have to say this a million times. Thank you, D3V. Thank you, D3V. Thank you, Ashley. She was the ruler of a very sad time in Chinese history. China was broken at the time. Poor, invaded by foreign armies, disorganized, disunited, poor, invaded by foreign armies, disorganized. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's keep moving. Thank you, D3V. All right. Thank you, River and D3V. Thank you, Hitman Perez. We good? Is it okay now? Thank you, Amos Otis. Thank you, Peony. What up, Lisa Ann? Is the signal a little bit better, everybody? Signal's better? Good? Okay, I'm doing my best, y'all. There's really nothing I can do if the signal's very bad. Thank you, Elizabeth D, for becoming a 5-month subscriber. Thank you, Elizabeth. Get some sleep, Innkeeper. I'm sorry I started so late today. Thank you, Rosa and D3V for the roses. I'm sorry I started so late today because it was a long time. It took a long time to get here. It took way longer than I thought to get here. Okay, so I really apologize, y'all. I apologize about that. But for the folks who are staying up, this is not going to be, I'll tell you this is not one of those like, joking or very light-mannered one of those. It's a very serious live stream today. Thank you, Peony. Thank you, Elizabeth D, because we are at a tomb. We are at a very historically significant place. Now, you see this right here. On the grounds. Thank you, Short Round. Thank you, Peony. You know what? The words are not too important. Let me show you guys the map of what her tomb looks like. Okay? We were here at the small tablet tower where I showed you guys the turtle along with the plaque. Thank you, Marlene and River. This is the spirit way we just passed. That's the bridge we just crossed. We're standing here now. This is where her body is, inside the underground palace, inside the tomb. So you can see her entire tomb is a north to south structure. You see how this is a vertical structure, north to south. You see that? And you're going to have different halls here. Thank you, Blackpink. And then it's got another 5 stone tribute tablet. You got another tower here. And then this is where they place dynamite to blow open her tomb. So once again, this is what I think a lot of people, they probably don't understand one concept. There's like, okay, if this is a tomb, then there should just be a tombstone and her coffin, and that's it, right? Thank you, it's Delilah. Thank you. That's not how it works in China. In China, with an imperial tomb, you're gonna have multiple buildings that lead into the main underground chamber. Now, the thing about it is, for you guys, you have to understand, man, when they build these imperial tombs, they know that people are going to try to rob them. Thank you, mister. They know that people are going to try to rob them, right? Because people know that there's going to be a lot of jewels and gemstones underneath. It's like having a pile of cash and putting it in the middle of the street. People are going to be looking for it, right? People want that cash. So what do they do to ensure that this place didn't get robbed? They put guards, they put families, literally a village of people right outside this tourism place in order to guard this imperial tomb. So actually, when I go and have lunch after this tour, the people that's going to be serving me lunch, all the villagers, the stores, thank you, Dusiwa, all the people that live outside this imperial mausoleum are actually not Han Chinese. They're actually mostly Manchu people Chinese. They are a descendant of the people who used to live here in the last 150 years guarding this tomb. They are the children and the grandchildren of the tomb guardians. Does that make sense? That is the villager, that is all the villages right next door. These are the guardians of the tomb and their descendants. Now they open stores, they open shops to welcome the tourists who come here, but they are actually the descendants of tomb guardians. Does that make sense? Now, it's an absolutely beautiful day out here in China. I am here at the Qing Dynasty Eastern Qing tombs. Please follow the channel and share this live stream. Follow the channel and share this live stream. Thank you, Peter Chung. We're going to go in here right now. First of all, you can see this building right here. Very, very old. Thank you, William and Grumpy818. This is very, very old. This is from the Qing Dynasty. This is not as old as what you would see when we go to Beijing, China, the capital, to go see the Forbidden City. Thank you, Williams and Jay Lei. This is towards the end of the Qing Dynasty. You can see here, 1873 to 1879. This is the roughest, starting of the roughest period in Qing Dynasty history. So this is only like 150 years old. We've seen much older things here in China. So this is why, like, you can see the paint is kind of peeling a little bit from all these columns, all these pillars. You can see the paint is peeling, right? But this is actually original because there's no need to redo this. Why? Because this is not that old. This is only 150 years old. Does that make sense, everybody? So we're going to walk in right now. This is all Qing Dynasty structure. Everything you see here is from the Qing Dynasty. All right, so we already paid for our ticket. Let's go ahead and go in. Now, like I said, everything that you're going to see in here is extremely extravagant. Extravagant is the word of the day, all right? Because why is this so extravagant? Well, you have to understand, once again, she was never the emperor. She shouldn't have a tomb that's this extravagant. She was an empress. She was a dowager. Does that make sense? Yet, if you look at this right here, look at how extravagant this is. Now, see this right here? Look at this. Is the signal okay, everybody? I see the comments are slowing down. Is the signal okay? Can you guys hear me and see me well? Is the signal okay? Is the signal okay? Thank you, Rosa. Signal's good? Thank you, Rosa. Signal's good? Okay. Let's keep the comments flowing, everybody, because that's how because when I see the comments slow down, I have this bad feeling that we don't have a signal. So let's please keep the comments flowing. Thank you, Jenny and Jay Lei. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's keep it moving. This is a little replica, obviously. Thank you, Colette. See, this is obviously a replica. You see this right here? Thank you, Randy's Country Music. This is a replica of the imperial seat. This is where the emperor would have sat, and this is actually where she sat. So remember, she was not the emperor, yet she sat here. Think about what that means. The only woman to fully control the empire in the Qing Dynasty is buried right ahead of us. She's buried right here. Now, if you look at all these buildings here, even if you look at all these bricks here, they're all original. This is like a mini version, in my opinion, of the Forbidden City that we're about to go to later next week. You can see all the bricks on the ground is exactly the same as what you would see in the Forbidden City. The reason why they didn't repair this is not because they don't have the money to repair it. It's because they want to keep it original. These are all Qing Dynasty bricks. So this is not some random bricks that you see. This is all made in the Qing Dynasty. They could easily make this look brand new, fix it up. They have the money to do it. But the reason they don't do it is they want to preserve the history. They want to preserve the history here. So please follow the channel and share this live stream. Thank you, Spandexy, JK, everybody, for sharing this live stream. Now, unfortunately, I have to tell you guys, most of the things that are touchable, not most, everything that's touchable, that could be removed by tomb raiders is all gone. Thank you, Leather. And unfortunately, a lot of it is overseas. So this is very, very unfortunate because when the tomb was robbed in 1928, A lot of the things that were robbed, unfortunately, went over to European countries and went over to the United States of America. But you could just tell as we enter here just how extravagant her tomb was. Look at the walls. Look at the freaking walls of this place. Does this look like anything you've ever seen before in China? Have you ever been to a place with me where the walls, the ceilings, the pillars are coated like this? This is literally mother of pearl, coated in gold. Thank you, Jane Yuk. Thank you so much. Look at how extravagant this is. This is not even a palace that somebody lived in their life. This is a tomb. We are at a tomb. Literally every inch of this wall is covered in gold flakes. You see this right here? It is absolutely unbelievable. Look at this. Look at this gold decoration of her tomb. 225 million taels of silver to make her tomb. This is all coated in gold. I have never, literally, if you use the knife and you scrape this off, there will be literally gold coming off of the walls. Look at this. The entire thing is made out of gold. It is absolutely insane. As we keep walking around, literally not 1 inch. You can see what's underneath. You can see some of it is chipping off a little bit, right? But this is all gold. Thank you, Snorlax. Thank you, Snorlax. This is all made out of gold. Look how beautiful this is. Look at the details on the pillars. Even when you look at the pillars, all also made out of gold, except this is different. This is gold that covers cement. You see that right here? Thank you, Nina. This is gold that covers cement. This is gold that covers wood. You see that? Different techniques, but all using gold. For everybody who's just coming into the channel, who's coming into this live stream now, we are at the most luxurious Qing Dynasty tomb, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This entire thing is made out of gold. It's all covered in gold. That's how amazing this is. All right. So needless to say, man, the Cixi Dowager lived a very, very luxurious lifestyle. She was very, very wealthy, yet she spent all the country's money on her lifestyle. She was very, very wealthy, yet she spent all the country's money on her personal lifestyle. Thank you, Melody and Victoria. She was not frugal. She wasted so much money on things that she should not have spent the country's money on and neglected the military. She neglected the military, and this is why the Qing Dynasty suffered so many defeats throughout its last 100 years of history, because the money was misspent. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense for everybody who's coming in? She was very, very selfish. She spent all of the country's money on her personal, luxurious lifestyle. Okay? Nobody needs a tomb like this. Nobody needs a place like this, right? Nobody needs to spend as much money as you need to on something like this. This money could have been used to help the poor. This money could have been used to help the military. This money could have been used to help the people that were starving in the countryside. And yet you could see just from her tomb how luxurious this is, right? She spent all of the country's money on her lifestyle and not nearly enough on education, on the military, on helping the poor. And this is why Cixi actually has a very terrible reputation in China today. She is known as someone who was frivolous. She wasted money. She has a very, very terrible reputation in China today. Okay, so we're going to keep walking around. As you can see, this whole entire place is coated in gold. Entire place is coated in gold. Thank you, Ms. Layden. Let's keep it moving, everybody. It's absolutely beautiful. This is also all hand done. And this also shows you how wealthy, how many amazing things were in her tomb. Because the tomb raiders didn't even bother to take these. They were like, we don't really need this. Because if a careful tomb raider really wanted to loot her tomb thoroughly, they would have scraped off all the gold from the walls here. But yet they neglected it. That just shows you how much loot they got from her coffin. Does that make sense? So everybody, let's keep it moving. Please follow the channel. Please share this live stream. Let's keep it moving, everybody. Thank you, Ms. Layden. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will show her garden. So somebody just said, I haven't shown the Cici's garden. We're going to do that when we go to Beijing to go stream at the Capitol. We will go and do that. Thank you, Ms. Layden. That is coming up next week when we go to Beijing. I'm going to take you to her summer palace where you're going to see where she spent the money that was earmarked for the military on. She spent it on a yacht. She spent it on a personal boat that was also made out of marble. So she spent the money that should have been used to strengthen the military, and she bought a yacht with it. Okay, so that is why she has a terrible reputation in modern China. However, I like to look at history as a little bit more nuanced, everybody. History is never really as black and white as people today seem to make it out to be. Thank you, Yufei. Please follow the channel and share this live stream. Please send all those heart me's only cost 1 penny, everybody, but they really help us move up the rankings, everybody. The yacht is in the summer palace. I'm going to show it to you when we go to Beijing next week to go and stream. So make sure y'all follow the channel. Thank you, Campbell. Thank you, Leather. And thank you, Cindy Lou. All right. So for everybody who's just tuning in, we are at the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Thank you, Strangle. Thank you, Sticky Rice. And thank you, Feel Heal Mule. We're almost at our goal. Thank you, Feel Heal Mule. Thank you, Con. All these exclusive bracelets, all these exclusive heart me's help us move up the rankings and be seen by more people. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Amor Lindo, for becoming a 6-month subscriber. Thank you, WeFunk. Thank you, Buckeye. That's how we move up the rankings, y'all. These heart me's from the exclusive section, everything from the exclusive section, help us move up the rankings, y'all. Anyway, this is like a mini Forbidden City. This palace was built in basically the same fashion as what you would see at the Forbidden City, which we're about to go to again next week. Thank you, LBJ. Thank you, Joe, for the bracelets. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. We're moving up the rankings, y'all. Thank you, Smurf. Now, this temple here is about 150 years old, built in the 1870s. It is now 2024. So this is an original Qing Dynasty structure. It is actually very well maintained. The difference between what you see here and what you see at the Forbidden City, thank you, Jason and Crabman, is that at the Forbidden City, the buildings actually look a little bit newer, even though they're older. Thank you, Victor, for becoming a 4-month subscriber. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Jason. Thank you guys for following the channel and supporting me. And thank you, Ivy Jung and Cindy. This is how I'm able to do this every single day and show you guys these amazing things, is because of y'all's generosity. I'm otherwise unable to do this because this is so far out in the wild to get here, and I'm not with a tour group. I'm by myself. To have a car to take me here, to buy the tickets, to stay in the hotels. Y'all's support make it possible. Now, the irony here is that the Forbidden City is actually much older than this building here. Yet the Forbidden City looks newer. Why is that? Because they put a fresh coat of paint on it. They renovated. It is China's postcard to the world. Everybody, when they come to Beijing, goes to the Forbidden City. So the Forbidden City, even though it's older than this, actually looks newer with all the modern renovations, with the modern paint. This is all original. This is only 150 years old, yet it looks much older because they never painted the bottom wood pillars. You see all the tiles, all the wood pillars up top, all the jointed parts that makes up the roof. That's all original. They never repainted this because this is a very seldom seen location. Thank you, Annabelle. Thank you, Annabelle, for becoming a 5-month subscriber. Thank you, Kareen. Thank you, girl. Now, you see, this place is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but you have to be one of two things. One of two types of people in order to come here. Thank you, Dream Inc. and thank you, Joe. First thing you have to be is you have to be a serious history buff in order to come here. You love history so much, you're willing to drive 3 hours from Beijing to come here. Thank you, Dream Inc., Jay, Lynn, and Jackie. Thank you guys so much. The second one is that you are a descendant of the Manchu people and you want to come here to pay respect to your empress. Does that make sense? In my opinion, one of two types of people will come here. Number one, you love history. Number two, you are a descendant of the Manchu people and you want to pay respect to your ancient rulers. Does that make sense? This is why you're going to have nowhere near as many people as the Forbidden City. Yes, there's some people here, but nowhere near as many as when we go to Beijing next week, where every single hall is going to be stuffed with people. Thank you, Ni Hao Ma. You see, it's pretty empty here. There's maybe 30 people here, 40 people here, not the tens of thousands of people that you're going to see at the Forbidden City. Thank you, Broly, and thank you, Jackie. Is what I'm saying makes sense? So much history here. I am on a verbal diarrhea. Is what I'm saying makes sense? Making sense to all the Americans back home, all the Europeans, all the other Asian nations, even all the Chinese people who are watching. Is what I'm saying making sense? Is it making sense? Amuji gets it. Is it making sense? Please follow the channel and share this live stream, y'all. Thank you, Digital. It is making sense. All right, now let's go into this particular hall right here. All right. So now, once again, for the folks who are watching, you have to remember, this is very similar to the Forbidden City, right? You guys remember seeing this in the Forbidden City. This is what's incredible about this place. This right here, once again, look at this. Y'all see this right here? Remember seeing this in the Forbidden City with me? You guys remember seeing this in the Forbidden City with me, right? In April, in late April, early May. You guys remember when we went to the Forbidden City? This is, again, made out of white marble. Look at this thing right here. Now, a little quiz time right now. What was this thing used for at the Forbidden City? Does anybody remember? Does anybody remember what this thing was used for at the Forbidden City? Anybody remember in the comments? Anybody remember what this thing was used for that sticks out the side? Anybody? Anybody remember? Anybody remember? Fire. Somebody said fire. This was a, I'm going to see if is a water gutter. Exactly. This was a water gutter. When it starts raining in the Forbidden City, the water is going to come out of the dragon's mouth over here. But here, this is a pure decoration. This is a pure decoration. You can see, not only is not water, why is water not going to come out? Because this thing is tilting upwards. How can water come out when this thing is tilting upwards? And there's no hole in the mouth of this dragon for the water to come out. So that is how extravagant this is. This is a pure decoration. This serves no purpose. Thank you, Purple and Peaches. This serves no purpose other than as decoration. And you know what is even more what's even crazier about it is that these are actually more extravagant than what you saw at the Forbidden City. What you saw at the Forbidden City, if I recall correctly, was like half the size of this and not nearly as well carved. Now, that could be because it is older, because the Forbidden City dates back to the Ming Dynasty. This is from the Qing Dynasty. Thank you, Benita. So it could be because that this is, thank you, Pink Lady, for the heart me. That's how we move up the rankings, y'all, all those heart me's. Look at how elaborately this is carved out of white marble. Look at the details. This is as fine of an example as you're going to find of Qing Dynasty craftsmanship you're ever going to find. Thank you, Debbie. This is all original. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Let's come into this hall right here. You see, this is the way into her underground palace right here. So we can actually go into her underground palace. When I go into her underground palace, okay, I'm actually going to have to put on a mask. And I cannot stream in there because there's no internet signal, so I can't even stream. But when I go into her underground palace, I have to put on a mask because it is underground. There is a human remain in there. Her body is in the underground palace. There's a coffin in there, and there's a lot of moisture and mildew from over 100 years of just, you guys get what I'm saying. So I'm gonna have to put on my mask when I get in there. So when I make the video and you see my face later, when you watch this video, the video is gonna come out later, not anytime soon, because I need to go back to Shenzhen and write the script. You guys are gonna see me wear my mask. That's why I brought my mask today when I go into her tomb. Now, before we go in, let's go into this building right here. Please follow the channel and share this live stream, y'all. Now, this is the east side of the her mausoleum. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna try to show you guys some historical photos that were still preserved. Now, let me put down my book bag, and my book bag is heavy as hell. You can see this entire place, once again, for the folks who just came in, it just goes to show you how freaking luxurious this place was. And by the way, my legs hurt really bad Like I'm having a hard time even bending down. This is the after effect of going to the Great Wall yesterday. I didn't feel it yesterday, but when I woke up this morning, my legs felt like they were made out of lead. The legs felt terrible, super, super tired, a lot of lactic acid building up here in my legs. Really, really, really tough feeling. So you don't feel it the same day, but you feel it the next day. This is also why I was a little bit late this morning in streaming, because I was so tired and my legs were so tired. I was just laying in bed. So please follow the channel and share this live stream. And yet we're going to climb the Great Wall again. Thank you, Lauren. All right. Now, once again, for the share this live stream. And yet we're going to climb the Great Wall again. Thank you, Lauren. All right. Now, once again, for the folks in gold, not only are you going to have gold, you're also going to have, thank you, Jolie. Thank you, User. Thank you, Benita Marie. Thank you, Johan Titus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Benita Marie. Thank you, guys. Is the signal a little bit better? Thank you, Lady Def. Is the signal better, everybody? Is it better? Thank you, William. Thank you, thank you, thank you.com. Thank you, Jane Yuke. Is the signal a little bit better? Yes? Okay. All right. As you look at 1928, okay, this is after the tomb was robbed. All right. You can see this black and white photo. This is before the tomb was robbed. You see all these men here on bicycles. These are the people who are supposed to guard the tomb. They unfortunately were unable to protect this tomb, and it was robbed in 1928. You see, 1928 was the year that they were robbed. Now, you see that? Look at this. A lot of the people that, you see, look at this. This is what they did to this place when they robbed in 1928. Loose bricks everywhere. They totally smashed. Look at everything. They destroyed everything. I see that. You see this right here? They smashed everything. They're all destroyed. Okay? Look at this. Man. Look at this. Look at this. And this right here is a grave robber hole that was left. You see this right here? And unfortunately, the building that we're standing at today, you can see during the Republic era, look at this. This is from the Qianlong Emperor. This is the Qianlong Emperor's, one of his concubines. Look at how horrible this looks. So all that is, and this one is completely collapsed. You see this one right here? Completely collapsed. Okay, so all that is to say, you can see there's grass growing everywhere. You know, this place looks totally deserted. You can see all the grass growing everywhere, right? Totally a big mess. Why? Look at this tower right here. You see this right here? Virtually the entire outer shell has been destroyed, right? So human greed. Thank you, Pink Lady. Thank you, Pink Lady. This is the thing, when you study history as much as I do, you kind of understand that a lot of times human history is very tragic. Human history sometimes is full of just totally idiotic actions performed by people who are just, sometimes when you read history and when you read as much of it as I do, you're just like, this is so terrible. This is so terrible. You know what I mean? That I don't understand how people could do this. You know, the things that happen here is the stuff of legends. They made movies about what happened here. There's literally a movie, multiple movies and TV shows about what happened. Thank you, Sharon P., about what happened here at this place. You know what I mean? It's like you look at Egyptian history, you look at Chinese history, you look at some of the great historical civilizations, Indian history, a lot of the Mayan civilization, the Aztecs, the African nations. A lot of that history, unfortunately, is very, very sorry. A lot of that history is nasty, sorry, cruel. A lot of it is just, it's when you read it, sometimes it makes your heart ache when you're reading history. You know what I'm saying? So this is why when you guys come here and you see all this, you have to realize, man, it's a very, I don't know how to explain it, man. When you come here as a Chinese, and even as a Chinese American, as an American coming here, you feel very sad about what happened here. You feel very, very sad about what happened here on this amazing place that it's just very sad what happened here. And you wish it were different. You know what I'm saying? The reason I didn't want to say the grave robber's name earlier was because he is such a nasty person in Chinese history. He has such a nasty reputation. I don't even want to say his name. I don't even want to say his name because it'll make my mouth dirty. It'll make my mouth dirty just saying his name because of all the nasty things that he did at this place. Does that make sense? So his last name is unfortunately the same last name as my hero, Sun Wukong. He's got the same last name. He was the one who robbed this tomb under the pretense of a military drill, and he stole everything. He stole everything from this amazing place. So this is the reason why I didn't want to say his name earlier, because he has a horrible reputation. He is known as a criminal. He is a known criminal in Chinese history. He destroyed so much history. He is the reason why so many precious Chinese artifacts are overseas in Europe and in Western nations and not here in a Chinese museum. It's because of his actions. Thank you, Kalena and Big Jake. It's because of his actions selling the national treasures of this country that so many artifacts are lost overseas and still not returned to this country. So this is why I don't really want to say his name. So let's keep it moving, everybody. Let's keep it moving. Let me grab my backpack. Let's keep it moving. I'm also going to get a little bit of water. My backpack is still here. All right, let's keep moving, everybody. Thank you, Bentley. Now, that's a great question. So there's really no such thing as being caught because he was a wartime commander at a time when China was a total mess. Okay, there's no such thing as being caught because there's nobody to catch him. Because at the time, China was such a mess, whoever had weapons, whoever had a military had to say. And he was the owner, he was the commander of a military. But I always like to think that in life, you get karma. I always like to think that in life you have karma. You know, karma is going to find your ass. And I would like to think that in the latter half of his life, after he did what he did, I would hope that some bad luck happened to this man because of the nasty things that he committed here, that he did to this tomb. Now, for the folks who are watching this, I do want to show you this. You see that temple right there? Didn't I tell you guys earlier? If you've been watching since the very beginning, I told you that this right here is an exact copy. Two tombs look exactly the same. Ci'an's tomb is right there. Cixi's tomb is right here. Thank you, Chris Albano. Thank you, Chris, for the bracelets. Here's the $1 million question. If anybody can answer this question, thank you to my wife. If anybody can answer this question, you have earned my perpetual respect. Okay? You have earned my perpetual respect. Here's the $1 million question. These two women are buried right next to each other. Cixi is here. Ci'an was here. Ci'an was the empress. She was the baby mama. She was the baby mama. And thank you, Deborah Hunt. Now, in Chinese customs, the right side is the esteemed side. Why is the baby mama buried on the right side, the esteemed side, and the actual wife, the actual empress, buried on the left side? Does anybody know the answer? Why is the baby mama buried in a better position than the actual wife? Does anybody know the answer to this question? She had a son. That's a great answer because she had a son. She gave him an heir because she was hotter. A child gave him a baby. Those are all great answers. Not the right answer, but a very good guess. It shows that my audience is very intelligent. Those are very good answers. Those are very, very good answers. She had a child. I said trim was better. LBJ with the jokes. LBJ with the jokes. As the empress. Anybody? Okay, I'm going to see if anybody knows the answer. Okay, so now what Adriana just asked is getting a little bit closer to the right answer. Thank you, La Boo Boo. We're getting a little bit closer. No worries, LBJ. No worry. She was prettier. She was wiser. A lot of good answers. The empress did die first. Absolutely. That's a great answer. The reason why she is buried in this position, the baby mama got a better position, also closer to the mountain. The very reason is that their husband is over there. And the empress has to be buried closer to the husband. That is the reason why. Because their husband, the emperor, was buried over there. Does that make sense, everybody? And the actual empress, the actual wife, thank you, Tutu, thank you, 22, thank you, needs to be closer to the wife, to the ruler. Does that make sense? So somebody said the right answer. That's a $1 million question. Very, very practical. So these two tombs are absolutely identical. Identical temple, identical door. You see the door here, door over there. You're going to see, you can't see this because it's blocked right now. Thank you, Lancy Bill and Chris Albano. This right here is going to have another one right behind it. That's going to be the temple. That's going to be the temple belonging to the Ci'an Empress. Now, how did the Ci'an Empress... Now, the Cixi Empress died from old age. That we do know. She passed away at a very old age. She passed away of natural old age causes. How come the actual wife of the Emperor Ci'an passed away at only age 44? So young. So young. How did she pass away? Legend has it that she fell. She fell on the day that she passed away in the evening. She slipped and fell, and it is believed by modern times, thank you, Maurice, that she had internal bleeding that led to her sudden passing at only age 44. We will never know until we open her tomb and examine the body. Thank you, Zendor and Maurice and Lena. Some people think that she was poisoned by Cixi because it's very unnatural for someone to pass away at age 44. Thank you, Sylvia. So some people think that Cixi actually poisoned the Ci'an Empress. That's actually not the right answer. We believe that she passed away because she fell, thank you, Winnie and Lena, and had internal bleeding. Her name is the Ci'an Empress, C-I-A-N. This is the Cixi Empress, C-I-X-I. Perhaps the most famous woman in Chinese history. Now, when you look at the Ci'an Empress, she was buried at only age 44, so she went into the tomb much earlier than did the Cixi Empress. Yet, her tomb to this day, after see, here's the thing. Her tomb was robbed in 1945. The culprits were caught in 1951. They stole everything from her tomb. Yet after 1945, the Chinese government has never opened her tomb. Her body is still down there, totally undisturbed. Her body is still down there. Thank you, Zendor. Thank you, Nana. 1945, they robbed her tomb. Still down there. Does that make sense? So that is Ci'an's tomb. This is Cixi's tomb. Right next to each other, absolutely identical. And this is why, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. This is not Wu-Tang Cincy. Thank you, man. Thank you, Shorty. Thank you for that comment. This is why, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. This is not Wu-Tang Cincy. Thank you, man. Thank you, Shorty. Thank you for that comment. Not everybody likes history, but for the folks who love history, you will love my channel because I stream every single day. I not only show you history, I show you culture, I show you touristy attractions, I show you neighborhoods, I show you life and culture. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a different appetite. I try to make something for everybody. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Lynn. This is why, for you guys, you have to understand. I could have streamed today from a market and taken you on a city walk. Very easy for me to do that. Thank you, Carrie and Shorty. Very easy for me today to stream from a city, from a mall. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Shorty. Very easy for me to stream from a mall today. But I had to take you to this UNESCO World Heritage Site. I had to take you here. Why? Because this place is absolutely incredible. This is one of the most incredible places in Chinese history for you to come to, because it is an actual tomb of one of the most famous human beings in all of China, the Cixi Dowager. And she is certainly, in my opinion, other than Wu Zetian, the most famous Chinese woman in all of Chinese history. Thank you, LBJ. We're almost at our goal. Let's keep moving, everybody. I know a lot of people got to go to bed. I'm also not going to be on for very long today because I need to go into her tomb and do some filming like this lady is doing over here. I need to go into some tomb and get some content for you guys. I have to do some filming when I get in there. I'm going to put on my mask when I go in because you have to once again remember, this is a tomb that I'm about to enter. The air quality inside the tomb is not very good. It is buried deep underground. There is a reason why the criminal had to use dynamite to blow it open in 1928 because it was sealed so intact and so well. Thank you, TS, and thank you, Tony. When I go in there, I'm going to wear my protective mask to filter out the air to keep my lungs healthy. I'm going to be in there for only about 20 to 25 minutes. Then I'm gonna stream. I'm actually maybe less, maybe 15 minutes, because there's nothing to film. Everything has been stolen. Everything has been stolen from her tomb. There's nothing to film. Thank you, Wendy. The only thing for me to show is her tomb, her coffin, and the walls. There's nothing to film. So I'm gonna film the inside for about 15 minutes. I'll come back out. I'll fly my drone. I'll walk around. And then this one is not open to the public. Ci'an's tomb is not open to the public. Thank you, Tony. And then I'm going to Qianlong Emperor's tomb, which is right next door, where I'll restart the live stream, but most of you will be asleep. Thank you, Tony McCarty. Thank you so much. Most of you guys will be asleep, okay? But I will still stream again from the Qianlong Emperor's tomb. I'm going to walk around a little bit, and then I'm going to film, and then that's why I'm going to call it a day. And we're going to go to the next city as we make our way towards Beijing. Okay, does that sound good? Let's keep moving, everybody. Remember, for all the folks who just came in, if you love history, you'll love my channel. If you love culture, you'll love my channel. Please follow the channel and share this live stream. This is the Eastern Qing tombs, the two most famous emperors, the Qianlong Emperor and the Kangxi Emperor in the Qing Dynasty. The two greatest emperors are buried here. Not in this entire compound, but outside in a different compound. Unfortunately, both have been robbed. Thank you, Lena. Thank you, HMHB. Both have been robbed thoroughly in antiquity. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, let's follow the channel. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. How many viewers have we had? I love it. You guys are amazing. You guys are a blessing. You guys allow me to keep doing this. The Kenneth, the Chocolate Goddess, the Christophers, the Few Mules, the Alexes, the Jennifers, the Joe Jays, everybody. Y'all allow me to, the LBJs, the Lenas, the Beatrices. Y'all allow me to keep doing this every single day. So I appreciate you guys. Let's keep moving a little bit further. I appreciate it. It is hot. It is musty. It is a great day. It's great air quality, but it is hot. It's not easy doing what we do, but we're going to keep it moving. So I actually thought about taking the easy way out this morning. I thought about taking you guys to just a market, you know what I'm saying? Show you guys a morning market and just bounce. I actually thought about that. I can't say that thought hasn't crossed my mind today, but I was like, I got to come out here and show you guys this place because this is absolutely incredible. I've never even been here before. Thank you, Chakra. Thank you, Rodolito. All right, as we enter the main hall here, I'm going to stand right in the middle here. You see that right here? What do you notice here? You notice the phoenix? Not only do you notice a dragon, you also notice a phoenix here. Why? Because the phoenix represents the feminine spirit. So she was a woman. Therefore, there is a phoenix carved into this marble right here. See that? Thank you, Christina. Dragon, phoenix. Thank you, Few Mew. We almost at our goal, y'all. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you. We're 2 away from our goal. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you see this right here? You see this right here? You don't see any dragons here, do you? Thank you, Nana. Do you see any dragons here guarding the main temple? No, you don't. Phoenix. Why? Represents the feminine spirit. She was never officially the emperor. You can't just put a dragon over here. She was not the emperor. You have to represent her correctly. She was an empress. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Christopher, for all the blessings. Thank you. That was our goal. Thank you. Thank you. LBJ just took us to the finish line. Thank you, LBJ. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I had a tough morning. Got dealt with some bad news, unfortunately, but y'all have really lifted my spirits, man, on this tough live stream with so many signal issues. Thank you, Terry. Y'all are amazing, man. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the love and blessing on what's otherwise been a tough day, man. Thank you, guys. This is the place. This is the main site that we're about to enter, okay? And this is about as far as we can go in. This is about as far as we can go in other than the underground temple. So let's go in right now. Put down my bag. Put down my book bag. Thank you, Chakra. All right, because we're in the tomb here, let me go ahead and take off my hat out of respect. Okay, out of respect to the departed. Thank you, Nookie. By the way, Feel Heal Meal, Christopher, LBJ. Thank you guys. Thank you guys, man. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all make it possible for me to come out here and do this. Thank you. All right. I want y'all to appreciate and marvel just how big this hall is. This is entirely coated, once again, in gold. Yes, in gold. Gold. Gold everywhere. Look at all this. Now, you can see here, a lot of this stuff has been scraped off. See, thank you, Susan. A lot of this has been scraped off, but originally this would have been coated in gold. Thank you, CV and Shorty. Everything that you see here, this is like worthy of the Forbidden City. Even if this was in the Forbidden City, thank you, Jane Yuk, for the bracelets. Even if this was in the Forbidden City, this would be considered a very large hall. Yet, this is just someone's tomb. Does that make sense? Now, as we walk around, you can see here, look at this. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Jay-Lay. Look at how magnificent this looks. Look at this. This is the main hall, as you can see here. Now, these wood. Now, when we go to the 13 Ming tombs in Beijing, we will go to the 13 Ming tombs. I'm not sure about this particular, but in the 13 Ming tombs in Changling, where the Yongle Emperor is buried, okay, the wood had to be imported via the Grand Canal from Sichuan province. It is a type of wood that is literally illegal to cut down today. I'm not sure if this is the exact same thing, but this is all made out of one solid piece of wood. Y'all see this right here? Look how big this hall is. Easily, the ceiling of this hall, 40 to 50 feet tall. At least 45 feet tall, I would say. Look at this. Absolutely incredible. I'm not sure what type of wood this is, but when we go to the 13 Ming tombs, the Ming Dynasty tombs in the outer skirts of Beijing, we're gonna go there this time. You're going to see literally a piece of wood that is priceless. That one piece of wood that you're gonna see at Changling can buy, I'm not even exaggerating, I wish I was exaggerating for TikTok. You could buy 100 Rolls Royces with one piece of wood. You could buy 100 Rolls Royce Phantoms, Cullinans. You could buy 100 Bugattis. In my opinion, with one piece of this solid wood from the Changling Temple. It is priceless. Thank you, Peaches. It doesn't even exist on this earth anymore. The wood that they used in the Ming Dynasty to build the 13 Ming tombs in Changling doesn't even exist on earth anymore to that magnitude. It is absolutely insane what they used for the emperor. Now, this one right here is about 150 years old. I don't think this is particularly precious. It's obviously very expensive wood because of how nice it looks, but the Cixi Empress, you got to remember, she spent roughly, in my opinion, the equivalent of $1 billion today to build her tomb. So all the materials that she used were very, very precious. So you can see, for the folks who just came in, all the ceilings, all the decorations, everything that you see here that's shiny originally was made out of gold. Painted in solid yellow gold. And this is not a palace for somebody to live in. This is a tomb. We are at somebody's burial place for the folks who just came in. So make sure y'all follow the channel and share this live stream because there's so many things for us to look at. It is absolutely incredible. I mean, like when we go to Beijing next week and we go to the Forbidden City, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, man. You don't even see this at the Forbidden City. The level of extravagance here exceeds what you see at the Forbidden City. At the Forbidden City in China, you don't even have things like this, painted out of solid gold. And I've never even seen that at the Forbidden City. So just really goes to show you how much money this woman wasted on her tomb. She literally spent maybe 1-2 years of the nation's treasury and tax receipts to build just her tomb. It's unbelievable. That money could have been spent on a lot of other things. So let's keep it moving, everybody. Please follow the channel and share this live stream. Now, you guys will probably say, well, what happened to literally everything in her tomb? Well, if you're an American, you're lucky because a lot of those things are actually in our American museums because most of them were smuggled out of the country at the turn of the 20th century, right around 1930, 1931, 1932, during a very tumultuous time in Chinese history. They were all smuggled out of the country. So I would imagine you can go to a museum like the Rockefeller Museum. You can go to maybe the Metropolitan has some. Different museums, different private collections throughout America and Europe will have things from her tomb. I have never really seen anything that belonged to her at a Chinese museum. When we go to the Palace Museum again, we'll try again. We'll see if we can find any. But I personally have never seen any. So maybe my memory is no good. But let's just keep it moving. Let me grab my hat, my book bag, and let me show you guys what she looked like. We've been talking about her for an hour and a half now. It's only fair that I show you what she actually looked like. My book bag, and let me show you guys what she looked like. We've been talking about her for an hour and a half now. It's only fair that I show you what she actually looked like. Thank you, Peter Chung. Thank you, Peter. Is it a little bit better? Is it a little bit better? Is it okay? All right, well, this is what she looked like in real life. You see that right here? This is what she looked like in real life. This is the Cixi Dowager. You see that? This is what she looked like in real life because there are actual photographs of her. There are actual photographs of her. She was alive during her late age at a time when the machine was already invented to take photographs. Thank you, Lena. So this is what she looked like. This is a black and white actual photo of the Cixi Dowager. This is what she looked. She would have been probably 65 or 70 at this particular point in her life. You can see the peacock on the back. You see the peacock on the back, and you see lots of food stacked on either side of her. And she's wearing a very beautiful Qing Dynasty robe with a fan in her hand. Okay, so this is a very, very important woman. You go and Google her, Cixi, and go and read her story. Possibly the most famous woman in Chinese history. Okay, this is actually a photograph. This is not a painting. She was alive when the photograph machines, the cameras were already being invented in Europe. Those big old things that you put on a tripod. You guys remember those things? The big boxes that you put on a tripod. So this is an actual photograph. Thank you, Peter Chung. Thank you, Plum Cloud. Let's get up out of here. Let's go ahead and get up out of here. See, look at this. Look at this right here. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely, man. The photograph is very, very valuable. Very, very valuable photograph. Now, if you guys remember, actually, one of the first videos that I ever went viral on TikTok was about the well at the Forbidden City. Oh, man, you got to be a real OG viewer if you've seen that video that I made. This was in December of last year. When I made that video, it went viral. Do any of you guys remember that video? Any of you guys remember that video? So I went viral on that video, and it got over 1 million views. Spandexy remembers. Spandexy remembers. Yeah, some of you guys remember that video that I made. It went viral. We got a lot of views. And that was actually one of the episodes that contributed to the success of the channel today. It launched us into a very, very successful start of the channel. See, I only started doing TikTok in late November of last year. So it's only been 9 months that we've been able to accumulate over almost 300,000 followers here on TikTok, you know, through hard work, through making sure that we can pass knowledge and laughter and just good vibes to the people. So for me, that video was so instrumental, and Cixi Dowager was one of the main characters in that video. So if you guys want to check it out, scroll to the bottom of my homepage. It's the video with like, I think 1.5, 1.6 million views. And what you're looking at now is officially the entrance to the underground chamber. This is it right here. You see the underground chamber right here? Thank you, Slick Rick. Watch this right here. This is the official entrance to the underground chamber. Look at this right here. Y'all see this right here? She is buried right underneath here. So I'm going to need to go ahead and put on my mask when I go in there. I'm going to take off my hat, take off my sunglasses, take off all of the things that are covering my face and my eyes right now, but I need to cover my mouth when I go in, because the air down there, in my opinion, is way too damp, and I don't think it's good for your lungs so I'm not going to stay down there for too long. But before I go down there, first thing you can see, we got 3 gates over here. One in the middle, one on the right, one on the left. These ones on the left and the right are for the common folks. The one in the middle is for the emperor, for the imperial family. The normal people, the common people, they had to go on the left and the right. Does that make sense? Thank you, Elizabeth D. And this is also why the middle one is not open to the public. Your ass can't even go in there. You have to go through the left or the right. You can't take the one where the emperor used to walk through. Thank you, Elizabeth D. Thank you, Elizabeth D. Does that make sense? So we're gonna take the one on the right. And this is all original right here. And this is all original. This is an original Qing Dynasty water pot to make sure that this place doesn't catch on fire. Okay, this is all original. Check this out. Please follow the channel and share this live stream. And also, let's keep the comments flowing, please. Let's please keep the comments flowing, because it is super important for the algorithm. Let's keep the comments flowing. Let me know where you're watching from. Just keep the comments flowing in general. And also, it lets me know that the signal is good. Thank you, Pancake. Thank you so much. Now, I'm about to walk into the underground chamber. Before I go in, I'm going to try to show you as much as possible, because obviously I can't stream in the underground chamber. It's freaking 30 feet underground. There's no cell phone signal. How am I going to stream? There's no streaming from down there. But I'm going to show you the entrance, and I'll take videos. Thank you, Xingzai. Thank you, Melissa. I'm going to take videos of what's down there, and I'm going to make it into an episode so all of you can see what's inside. Okay? Now, back in 1928, this is the point where we cross here. You see, everything is white marble. Even this ground here is white marble. Every freaking thing is white marble here. This is how luxurious this place is. White marble everywhere. Now, here, what you're looking at right now is the above ground structure, thank you, drive, of the burial place of the Cixi Dowager. Thank you, Lobely. I'm going to take my face out of it, so some of you guys want to take a screenshot. Thank you, Lobely. Go ahead and take your screenshot. Go ahead. Jorge, I'm going to answer your question in a second. Thank you, Drive. Go ahead and take your screenshot, everybody. This right here is the main compound. What up, man? What up, Jay Nelson? Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. All right, I'm going to bring my face back, and I'm going to answer your question, Jorge. Thank you, Drive. See, the reason is very simple, man. The Chinese government has been requesting the repatriation of lost artifacts from the British government, mainly the British and the French government, okay? Museums sometimes comply, sometimes they don't. And the ones that don't, you can't exactly stick a weapon to their head and force them to do it. It is their property now. It sits in their museum. You can't go. This is not Black Panther where you send somebody and go and steal the vibranium. It's not a movie, right? Thank you, Tammy. If a museum refuses to comply with you, there's not exactly much you can do. You can't exactly go and steal it. Thank you so much, All Things, for becoming a 1-month subscriber. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this right here, so first of all, this is super important for everybody who's watching. I can't stress this enough. This doesn't look like a tomb, right? This is the above ground structure of her tomb. This is what the Tomb Raider blew up. He blew open the entrance with dynamite under the pretense of a military exercise. Thank you, J07. He blew it up. He went inside with all his soldiers, and he stole everything. They stole everything from this precious tomb. Does that make sense? This is why so many of those things are lost overseas, because they were sold overseas. They were given as gifts. He kept very little of it for himself. Okay? And by the way, man, I'm a very superstitious person, man. I think it's bad karma to be going into somebody's tomb and stealing their stuff, man. I would not touch anything here. I don't even want to put my hands on that, because this is not the Forbidden City. We're going to be at the Forbidden City in Beijing next week. This is somebody's tomb. I'm not touching anything. And I sure as hell am not going to take anything from somebody's tomb. It is totally idiotic to do something like that, man. I would never do something like that. But apparently, this man wasn't afraid of bad karma. He wasn't afraid of bad juju. He stole everything from this place. Make sure y'all follow the channel and share this live stream, y'all. Let's keep it moving. All right. As you look at this main temple here, first of all, I don't even believe you can go up there, because I don't see any open stairs. I don't see anything open that can allow you to go up there. However, stand over here for a second. Look at the way this is built. Again, this is going to be the tallest structure in this entire place. It also sits on high ground. Why? Because there's a freaking tomb underneath. There's a tomb underneath. So it needs to be a little bit elevated. So let's go ahead and go in. And you see, that is a memorial hall right on top. Thank you, Chavez. Let's go ahead and climb up these steps. Now you can see these steps are actually not original. These are not original steps. Why? Because there were no original steps. You're not supposed to go up here. This is somebody's tomb. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to come up here. This was never fixed to say, well, come to my tomb and hang out with me. Thank you, Nana. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. This is somebody's tomb. Does that make sense? Thank you, Peter Chung. Thank you, Mark Anders. There are no steps up here. See, what you're seeing up here is the door, is the gate. You see this? This was blown open by dynamite. So this would have been closed. This was blown open by dynamite in 1928. Look at the floors. Everything is white marble. You see that right here? Everything is made out of white marble on the ground. Yes. Thank you, Mark Hander. Thank you, Chavez. Everything is made out of white marble. Look at how luxurious this is. Thank you, Chavez. I'm going to try to go in a little bit. Okay? This is the entrance to the underground chamber. I'm actually going to put my book bag down here. Y'all see this right here? Please follow the channel. This is the entrance to the underground chamber. You see the way they built this? Look at the way they built this. Underneath the temple, thank you, Purple Creations. Thank you so much. You see the way they did this? You go sloping path downwards into her. You see, look at, I can't go all the way down there because it's not going to have a signal. I will try, but I'm not optimistic about the signal. So that's probably where the live stream is going to end before I come back, maybe an hour later after I'm done filming here. But you can see the way they're going down into the tomb right now. They brought a kid with them. This kid should be in school right now. September 1st is the first day of school. I don't know what this kid is doing over here. You see the way they're going down. Look at how far they're going down. This is about, I would estimate, at least 20, 30 feet underground is right here. See where they're headed? 30 feet underground. Now, as you can see here, this is the exit. Maybe I can see a little bit better from here. It is a huge structure underneath. Thank you, Chavez. There's a lot of people down there, so it's very noisy. It is a huge structure underneath. Thank you, Chavez. There's a lot of people down there, so it's very noisy. Why is it important to use dynamite? Why do you have to use dynamite? Okay? Why can't you just go ahead and push the door open? Thank you, Benita. Thank you, Sonny. Why can't you just push the door open and go in? Why do you have to use dynamite? Well, it's because when this door was closed, it was sealed. Okay? This is not one of them Ring camera doors where you welcome your neighbors, okay, where you watch out. This thing was permanently sealed. Thank you, Avenue. Look how freaking thick this door is. Look at how thick this wood door is. Right? You think you can open this? You think you could just open this by pushing? You see these locks over here? You see this right here? Thank you, Hanton. You see that? This is made out of solid wood, right? So they say, how did they seal that from the outside? Well, that's why you got to follow the channel, because I'm going to make some videos that show you the wisdom of how the Chinese people sealed it from the outside, which is exactly what they did. So they can't open it. So what do? They use dynamite, and they try to blow it open, okay? They probably open, you see the marks over here? That's original. See that? Pried it open. You see the damage. Now, when they use dynamite here, the reason why it didn't cause too much suspicion was they used the excuse of a military exercise. So there was a lot of dynamite going off, a lot of explosions going off. Now, we're going to go downstairs, but I'm not optimistic about the signal. I'm not very optimistic about the signal at all. So I'm going to go down there. I'm going to try to show you as much as I can. If the signal is no good, I'm going to come right back up. Okay? I'm not optimistic about the signal, but let's go in. I'm gonna try to go as far as I can. Thank you, Benita. And now it's time for the hat and the sunglasses to come off. Because we're about to enter someone's tomb. Sunglasses as well. Thank you, Shorty. See, look at this right here. Thank you, Hanton. I'll put on my... All right, look. Let's see what God has in store for us, because I see the coffin already. You guys might actually be able to catch a glimpse of this coffin from the outside. Significantly colder down here, very cold here. Oh, there it is right there. That's the coffin right there, everybody. You see it? Y'all see that? Thank you, Amos. That's the coffin right there. You see that? So I'm gonna have to put on my mask now. Let me put everything away. I'm gonna put on my mask. Okay, time to put on my mask. Actually, it's not that bad. It's actually not that bad. Thank you, Dylan. You see the coffin? See, they're taking photos. She's bowing to it. You see that? Do you see her bowing to it? You see that? Did you guys just see that? Okay, that is the coffin. You see, it's now totally covered. It's not originally that color. Okay, you see that right there? Okay, I'm gonna have to put on my mask. I'm just gonna go like this. Follow the channel, y'all, and share this live stream. You see the kid and the mother, you see they're bowing. You see that? You see how they're bowing to it? You们是满人吗？你们是满人吗？你们是汉族还是满人吗？你们是满人吗？汉族。你们是汉族啊？因为很多满人他们来这边纪念，他们来这边拜。我以为你们是满人，我看到你们拜的，我以为你们是满人。好 ，cool. I just asked them if they were Manchu, because a lot of Manchu people here coming. Like the reason why I'm standing here is because the further I go, I'm not gonna have a signal, so I'm gonna go step by step. If the signal goes, then we're gonna have to go back up. Follow the channel, y'all. Hit that follow button. I should probably put on my mask. Let me put on my mask. It is fully covered in a cloth, okay? In a cloth that is going to prevent moisture from getting in. Okay, thank you, Nook E. So this is not the original color of the coffin. There is a cloth over it. You see that? There's a cloth over it. All right? It's a golden colored cloth covering the coffin. All right? And there's a photo of her, and there's some offerings on the ground. Do you see that? There's some offerings on the ground. You see that? There's some fruits. I'm not going to go any further because we're going to lose our signal. This entire thing is underground. You can see everything is made out of white marble. You see that? Look at the architectural elements. Her body is still in there. Her body is still in here. Okay? But all of the jewels of the Cixi Dowager, she was the last female ruler of China. This is the last female ruler of China, and she is buried in here. Okay? She is buried in here. This tomb was robbed in 1928. Everything inside has been thoroughly stolen, but her body is still in there. So unlike the Egyptians who put the mummies at a museum, this right here is actually original and is still at an original resting place. Thank you, Nook E. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to show you something. I'm not sure if I can show you this because because the signal is going to be not good. Let me try to show you this. So I'm going to put on my mask, okay? So we're going to go very, very slowly, okay? There used to be a door here. There used to be a door right here. It was destroyed by dynamite. If only, I'm gonna show you guys this because this is the answer. Somebody just asked me earlier, how can they close the door from the outside? This is how. You see those troughs at the bottom of the floor. You see that? What they would do is they would close the door and they would put a stick that uses gravity. As soon as they close it, it will lock into place. So it will be like this shape right here. You see, look at my hand. It will be like this shape, and the door is like this. It will be this shape, and will prop the door closed, and it will be stuck against this ground over here. So no matter how hard you push, it won't open. This is why they had to use dynamite. This is why they had to use dynamite, because the door was sealed. This is why the door is missing, by the way, because the door has been destroyed. Does that make sense? The door has been destroyed when the tomb raiders came to her tomb. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, user. When the tomb raiders came to her tomb in 1928, they blew this thing open and they destroyed the door. Does that make sense? Let's go step by step. Let's go just a little bit further. Let's see if we still have a signal down here. Thank you, Elizabeth D. I'm going step by step, very, very slowly. Very, very slowly. You see, look at the ceiling here. Thank you, Ollie. You look at the ceiling. You see this? We are underground. We are subterranean, everybody. We are in an underground burial chamber. This is the burial place of Cixi. Thank you, Peter Chung. I'm gonna have to go back up. Signal's no good. All right, everybody. All right, everybody. All right. Bring my face back. All right. It's pretty amazing, right? Thank you, Dream Inc. Thank you, Pui Thames. Thank you, Dream Inc. Signal's pretty good. I'm sorry, this is, you guys are able to see this, right? So I just want to say to you guys, man, this right here, what you're looking at is what I'm about to enter in the next 5 to 10 minutes to go ahead and do some filming. Okay, thank you, Peter Chong. I'm gonna go ahead and get some filming done. We're gonna make it into an episode later. This is the underground chamber of the Cixi Dowager's tomb. It is one of the only 2 underground chambers that are open to the public here at the Eastern Qing Tombs. Thank you, Lil Jane, and thank you, Sen Hen. Okay, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this. For those of you that just came in, I've been live for about 2 hours. Yeah, about just under 2 hours. I've shown you everything at the Cixi Dowager's tomb. It is now time for me to do my job. I need to fly my drone. I need to get some nice aerial footage. I need to do some filming. I hope to be back in about an hour. Thank you, Sen Hen. I also need to take a break. I hope to be back in 1 hour. Most of you guys are going to be asleep, but we're going to do another tour of the Qianlong Emperor's tomb right next door. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Amos Otis. You guys are amazing. Y'all are absolutely amazing, man. Go and get some sleep. Folks that are going to sleep, y'all are so amazing. I want to say thank you to Christopher, Kenneth, Fio Hyo Myo, LBJ, Chocolate Goddess. So many people to thank today. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Angela. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are absolutely amazing. I'm going to go and film, and we'll make it into an episode, and I'm going to share more history with you guys. Make sure y'all follow the channel. Thank you, Pepper Kim and Lakin. I give you guys a bow for being interested in history to begin with, for loving history to begin with. Thank you, D. Chase. Thank you, Petunia. I thank you guys for loving history and caring about history, and especially Chinese history, enough to tune in to this kid from North Carolina on this beautiful Saturday evening, my beautiful Sunday morning. Thank you, Matilda, LBJ, for everybody who subscribed or sent a subscription. Thank you, guys. those of you, BJ, for everybody who subscribed or sent a subscription, thank you guys. For those of you going to sleep, I'll see you on Sunday morning. For those of you who are going to be up, I'm going to see you in a little bit, maybe about an hour. Okay? Take care, everybody. I'm out of here. Everybody. The replay should be posted. I'm going to see you guys later, everybody. I'm out of here. Thank you, guys. Daniel, out. Much love, everybody. I'm out of here. Take care, everybody.